kind of shocking that something like this could happen in a state that prides itself on law and order, but juveniles in one Florida county are given the option to write essays instead of face charges for the crimes they commit. This is wow. This is something you would expect to happen in a Chicago or an LA or some liberal area where they're soft on crime. They give juvenile offenders and adults slaps on the wrist, and then they go back out in the community and reoffend. But Volusia County deputies arrested a 14-year-old male who reportedly shot a man in the leg after he came to buy marijuana from him. A 14-year-old. This is crazy. The same teen who was identified as Juan Pelasco has been arrested for gun crimes before. One specific incident brought up by Sheriff Mike Chitwood was an Instagram video featuring Pelasco and other juveniles pointing guns at a camera as they made threats to shoot classmates. The consequence for that crime, a curfew and a 250-word essay on the importance of abiding by the law. Yeah, I'm sure he really learned his lesson, writing an essay. I mean, this sounds like I'm pretty sure you can get worse consequences for acting up in school, right? But he shot someone. I mean, that should be attempted murder at the very least. But they're soft on crime. And I get what they're trying to do as far as not wanting to put juveniles through the criminal justice system, potentially ruin their life. But we're not talking about petty offenses. We're not talking shoplifting, jaywalking, or like bullying or something like that. We're talking serious crimes here. Somebody could have died. You let this kid off the hook when he already showed that he could be violent. He had a gun, obviously, and then bragging about it, threatening on Instagram. See, criminals feel emboldened in today's world because of stuff like this. Prosecutors, judges that are going to go easy on them. And as a juvenile, if your first interaction with law enforcement or with the criminal justice system is a cakewalk, the chances of you reoffending are much higher than if they brought down charges on you or, hit you really hard with your first offense. I think that would teach you a lesson. I mean, this kind of just defies logic, in my opinion. But right now, in Volusia County alone, 27 juveniles are facing gun-related charges, on top of 9 that are currently in custody for the same type of crimes. So Sheriff Chitwood said, why does Volusia County have so many juveniles who like to play with guns? And yet we're writing essays and putting them on unenforceable curfews. I totally agree with him. This makes zero sense. And it's not just the justice system that is failing the community and failing these kids. It obviously starts in the home. How many of these juvenile offenders don't have fathers in their home? How many of them are, growing up in an environment that's not safe and is not healthy? Obviously they're not involved in sports or after school activities that would be productive. So they're joining gangs, they're selling drugs, they're flashing guns on Instagram videos. And then when they get arrested, you got these prosecutors and judges from the Department of Juvenile Justice just letting them off the hook. Just go write an essay, 250 words, and learn your lesson. And what kind of message does that send to the community? It tells the community, hey, we're not going to keep you safe. And then it sends a message to the criminals that, eventually will become delinquents. It sends a message to them like, hey, don't even worry about it. We'll give you a slap on the wrist. You'll be back out with your friends in no time. I mean, this is dangerous, man. And it just continues to happen. It just goes to show you that even in a state like Florida, even in a state that prides itself on law and order and, protecting citizens, that you'll have pockets of delinquents, pockets of corruption, because this seems like corruption to me, that you would let anybody, if they have a gun, juvenile or adult, doesn't matter, if you would let them get off by just writing an essay, no jail time, no charges, and then when they go back out and reoffend, the crime ends up being worse, and now you have a victim involved. That just tells me that you've got some incompetence or you've got corruption or both. I'm willing to bet if we did some more digging, we might be able to tie it to a certain someone that runs the Open Society Foundation that funds prosecutors like Kim Foxx in Chicago. Very famous, let Jussie Smollett off the hook, let other violent criminal offenders off the hook, and you see what's happening in Chicago. Oftentimes when you let these criminal offenders off the hook, they go out and not only reoffend, their next crime is worse. We got to put a stop to this. And I don't know what it's going to take other than finding out stories like this and reporting it. I hope you share this out on social media. Let people know. This is in Volusia County, Florida, a really red county. We have a solid sheriff in this county, which is why he's speaking up and calling this out. He wants to turn the Department of Juvenile Justice on its head because this is obviously wrong, completely defies logic and common sense. And you've got an environment now where teenage crime, underage crime is going to flourish, become delinquent. And next thing you know, you got career criminals on your hands. This is totally unacceptable. And something needs to be done about it.